Cruise Combat is a proud sponsor of the Combat Jiu-Jitsu 2020 Lightweight World Championships. Our custom high-end performance apparel is worn by combat athletes around the world. With performance pieces designed to last a lifetime, our graphics never fade, crack, or peel. Cruise Combat apparel isn't just made for the mat. Our lifestyle line features dozens of unique designs printed on the softest, most durable fabric out there. And we do custom designs, any quantity, big or small. Order your Cruise Combat gear today.
Zach Meslani now making his way to the stage. Meslani in the black and white. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. It's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a beautiful.
Great technique. It's
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Yo, what up? It's Big Uncle Zach back in your ear hole. Zach's Corner podcast over here at Never Again Studios, and we're back, biatch. We had plans to do some other stuff, but we hit a little snafu, and when we're back in the lab, I got a couple more weeks until my wife pops this baby out, so maybe not a couple weeks, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, but at least I can get over here and drop another podcast because there's so much shit happening. We're eventually going to be setting up over at Finishers HQ so I can have my little podcast area. We got the gym, Brian Paban Primal over there. So, I want to be able to wake up in the morning on like a Wednesday, do my routine, shit, shower, shave, whatever I'm going to do, and then get to the dojo, do a workout with Mike. That's what I want to do. And then, or we could do the podcast first, then hit a workout. You know what I mean? Whichever way. We could do whatever we want. But that's what we're working on getting. So I got a new shelf to display some of my WWF action figures and stuff in the background. So we're going to set up like a cool little thing. We got some lights from Quentin and stuff, but, we'll get that piece going in a little bit. We just been so freaking busy, dude. Events out the anus. Mike's doing events out the anus. All over the place. Here at the studio, fucking doing the women's thing, driving a truck around, delivering shit. I need 15 burgers delivered to my house now. It's like, whoa, dude. All right, cool. That's good, though, because people want it.
Yeah, no, it's been a huge response. Everybody likes the burger, so it's been fun. I did Laura's thing. It was the women's thing Sunday.
Yeah.
And then between the finisher stuff, I did 7 Sirens. So they're just kind of... And then I did a private party.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I was just like, yeah, cool. I know how to do these, but I just did it. It was actually way easier than doing any other pop-up because you just make the food and then you leave.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what we were talking about. Like me and Mike, we talk not every day, but close to it because we're always just bouncing stuff off each other because I like that you're in a different industry than mine.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to talk to, I don't want to give everything away to all you guys out there, but I don't like to just talk to people in my industry, in jiu-jitsu or jiu-jitsu owners and like other martial artists because a lot of times there's a lot of group think, if you will, kind of like the coronavirus bullshit and all this stuff. Like you just believe what the other guy believes, and then it's like pass it down the alley. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this one, I'm doing that too, I'm doing that too, and you got to do that because you see what's working in your own, industry or whatever, or your own, your own lane, and then you got to go from there, and you got to figure out other things. So, I draw a lot of my inspiration from other places. I'm not going to give you directly where I'm getting them, but, me and Mike, he runs look what he's doing. You're doing all types of stuff. So I like to talk to you about different business things. We always give each other ideas. Like, we're always changing things up. And I feel like some people just get you don't want to change it up too much all the time, but some people just get too stuck in their ways and they never change anything and they never want to adapt. We're always adapting, even from the smallest things to the way we, to the way we make money. We're still trying to figure out how to like make dough. We're doing good, but we want to do even better. And it's hard to figure out sometimes. Like, I used to, back in the day when I first started for instance, for seminars, I used to teach, I would teach a seminar to 10 people, and I would still do that, but I would teach a seminar to 10 people and get like $300, And I spent more money to teach a seminar, but that's what I wanted to do to get our name out there, get me and JM out there, get myself out there. But now when I get a seminar, I'm just going to charge, because I've gotten to a certain point in my career here, coaching and the whole nine, and, trying to gain some internet popularity so that way I can make more money, and that's the only reason why I'm doing it. And it is fun. I like my job, but I want to make dough, so how do I do that? The more popular you are, the more followers you can interact with, whatever. The more you can sell people things that they need, not crappy shit, but like, videos or whatever, seminars, you're always promoting yourself. You got to be able to do that a little bit and have a little bit of no shame and just be able to throw yourself out there. But when I go to teach a seminar now, I want to tell them, I taught one at Bronx, like, I forget exactly what I did there, but like now I'll just tell people like, hey, listen, like I want $1,500, to show up. I don't care how many people come. You can make more than that, but I want a minimum of $1,500 or $1,000 if I come there, which isn't really that much. $1,000 is like, 50, if you charge 50 or $60 a head and you get like, 20 people, that's not that bad. That's $1,000 right there, and then it's partly up to me. And like you said all the time, where you do podcasts with people and they don't promote it.
Yeah.
Like I'm helping promote myself, but then I want the place, if you're going to have me through, promote me, because you're paying me a minimum of $1,000 or I'm not coming to the thing.
It would be rude to just have somebody do all that work and then you don't promote what you're doing.
I don't get that.
There's a lot of times we have conversations where it's just mind-blowing that people...
I tell the guys at the school, too, like, we just had to make a rule. This might interest people, too. We just had to make some rules on filming and recording and all this different stuff at the studio or at the school, because there's people just trying to make their whole portfolio off the school. And, we let people get away with murder for a long time, but now it's like, hey, we gotta sew it up. We're going to have a deal with Cruise Combat eventually, probably, where, they handle all of our gear and, they give us a stipend per month. It's like an exclusive deal that you would do with fucking Nike or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know any other jiu-jitsu schools who got this. Now, I know other places I'm sure got sponsors, but what jiu-jitsu school has a gear company that's willing to invest money in them like that? Now, we got over 200 some students, people traveling all the time. We're constantly out of gear. And we can't keep it in stock. So, and one of the reasons why I like Cruise Combat is because they sponsor this podcast too. You'll hear the promo every time this podcast comes on. But one of the reasons why I like them and Ryan and the crew is he's expanding. He started small. I got in with them like years and years ago when I wanted to get custom made stuff. And one of my friends, Kevin Reyes Gibbs, 10 Planet, I don't even know where he's at now, San Francisco or whatever, but he turned me on to him, and I talked to Ryan, and dude, we've been literally dealing with Ryan from Cruise since, maybe 8 years now, since we've been in the game. They make all of our custom stuff, made stuff for Thor, they make all my shit. JM got the Tiger Stripe one now, Grace, they always make her competition rash guard, so I don't want to mess that up. And, Quentin is our house photographer, videographer, so he's in charge. Like I want anyone it's like when you go to a wedding, when you're getting when you're like getting a venue to do a wedding, and they say, okay, these are the caterers you can use. Here's the two. If you want to bring an outside one in, it's an extra $1,000. What the fuck? Why aren't we doing that? You want to bring in some guy who's just going to film everything at my place and use all the content out of my spot, and then he's going to make money off it? Got to shut that down. We're going to control it. And it's not being a dick. It's our place. It's literally our place. You can't show up to the NFL and just walk on the sidelines with a huge camera and be like, I'm going to take some pictures. They would be like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, a lot of places don't even let you. Like, you can't go to the EBI stuff or anything like that. And like, I'm just going to, or even UFC, you can't, anything.
You can't do the
football,
UFC.
baseball,
Are you kidding me?
none of that stuff. You're not allowed to do that shit.
At Flow Grappling, if they see you recording while they have a thing going on, they'll send you over and put hands in front. Like at ADCC trials, that are on Flow Grappling, that's the thing. They're paying, like, people could say what they want about Flow Grappling, but they're paying for the venue. They paid for the hundreds of thousands of dollars of cameras they have. They're paying the guys to go out there and work it. And they have a deal set up with ADCC where they probably pay ADCC trials, I'm sure, to have their content on their platform. Thus, that's how they get paid. So people are like, fuck Flow Grappling. You just don't understand business. Anyone who's out there like, fuck Flow, you don't get business. And that's fine. You just don't understand how business works. And people are like, I don't like the fact that nothing's free in this world.
And you guys give a lot of stuff out for free.
Our whole tournament's free.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I do it is because Flow Grappling charges. And we're not trying to, how like a tournament comes out like Bellator and they're like, I'm going to go head to head with UFC. Stupid. Let UFC be UFC. You be your own thing and be happy with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I am. That's what Finishers is.
Yeah.
Finisher sub only is free. It's online. But like same thing. Like, 5 dudes, they know it's going to be content crazy, and they know that we put together crazy matches and people are going to throw down in the underground. Finisher sub only, so they think they're going to show up with cameras and video things and be in the way of the other photographers and stuff that are getting paid. And I like it because there would be footage, bro, that we wouldn't have if it wouldn't be for a guy like that.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't be for a rando coming in, they've gotten footage that we've missed. Or I didn't have the money to pay, I didn't know Quentin, or I didn't have the money to pay someone to do it, but now that we've gotten bigger and I see people, they're not really taking it. I mean, they are taking advantage, but it's not necessarily that I'm mad that they're taking advantage. It's just that they don't understand, that, and it's nothing against them. I already told them it was okay. Like, I didn't say like, hey, don't do it. And then they did it anyways. Then I would be pissed, but I told them it was okay. But now though, going forward, there is no professional photography or videography without talking to me or JM and or paying us. We have 2 people on staff, basically, Quentin and then Deanna from Cherryville Photography. She is, Deanna and Bill, her husband, they both train at the school. They have 3 kids that train at the school. So they have literally 5 people that are students at my school. Some of the other people coming in and taking photos and pictures and stuff don't even belong to the school. Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? You're going to build your whole portfolio and platform and everything off us. And that's fine. I want people to do this because I remember I started somewhere too. And I invested everything I had in the dojo, but not the camera equipment, stuff like that. It'd be like if you invested all this time in the camera equipment and then down the road someone goes, I'm just going to use all your stuff for free. You'd be pissed.
Yeah, it happened already. I let people use, to create a podcast, and then, they're building their everything off of it to make money, and then they're not even sharing it or promoting me. And then it just got to the point where, especially with the new studio we talked yesterday, I'm like, everyone's paying. I mean, I had a guy come down here. It was nuts, dude. He wanted to have his show on the network, but then he wanted to have a sponsorship program through him, and then he was going to charge more than what I was charging for a sponsorship. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm like, first of all, you're just trying to overcharge a sponsor so you can pay me what the sponsorship is. But like for you to put yourself on, and then he didn't even ask permission. And then he posted and was sending emails to people being like, hey, I'm on the Never Again Network. I'm on the Never Again Network, and it's $250. And I'm like, I'm not charging $250, dude.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and then it's like, and then I see a lot of everyone's hustle because I've been hustling for a long time, but like his hustle is he's just scrambling to do 1 podcast a month because Joe Rogan's on Spotify and he can make money, and it's the missing link to what he told me. He's like, I just need a podcast and then everything will work. And I'm like, well, if all your other shit worked, you would have a podcast studio. Mm-hmm. You'd be making money.
See, I started doing the podcast and wanted to do the Finishers podcast back in the day.
But you guys were doing the podcast. When I started mine, you were the only legitimate podcast in the area that I knew about through Dan.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, these guys know what they're doing. The show was good, and there really wasn't anyone in the area doing an actual podcast except for us. Who's still doing them?
Exactly. Not in this area. And also we started.
Or I could say who's getting paid to do them.
We started the podcast just to get, because we felt like we were being, now they call it shadow banned. but not online by like Instagram. But we felt like we were being shadow banned by the jiu-jitsu community because we're out here making waves and, not that we care about this anymore, but like, newspapers and online articles, and nothing was ever written about us. And then they would literally take a guy would start up a tournament, right? Have one tournament, and then someone will write an article about how this guy, it basically was writing an article about me, but then using the other guy's name. And I was like, man, that's kind of fucked up. Like, I've never dealt with that before where like, well, maybe I did a little bit, but earlier in my career, but most of the time, people just would overlook us because we were like 10 Planet, we're like kind of on the East Coast, and we're not directly, we're not training under Eddie every day. And like, we're not Eddie's little, we're not like Eddie's, pets, how like that's one of the reasons why I get annoyed at a lot of 10th Planet guys. Shots fired coming up here, but because they just go on and they just, gargle Eddie's balls. And I don't know, he doesn't want that, but he tries to talk to so many people, I can't even imagine he even realizes it's happening, but it's the typical like, oh, I want to be the announcer of this thing. Oh, I want to be the referee at this thing. Oh, let me be the thing. And it's like, dude, I don't even ask for that shit because it's fucking corny to me. You know what I mean? I just look at those guys and look at how corny they are. But those guys, they're out there doing their thing, but then we just never got noticed. So I was like, oh, really? Oh, we're not going to be the teacher's pet, or we're not going to be this, and we're just going to start our own podcast and talk shit.
Yeah. No, I remember that podcast back in the day, and you guys were fucking...
We had Eddie Bravo on.
Yeah. Because that's how we first met, because you used the studio over in Bethlehem. Yeah, Dan connected. He was like, yo, my buddies are interviewing Eddie Bravo. I was like, I don't care.
At the time, the internet was not like it is. People weren't even about Instagram and all that shit.
No, and you couldn't put up videos on Instagram.
You could you? But maybe it was like...
No, because, they did pictures first, and then it was only like a 15-second video.
You can only put up a 15-second video, so it really made,
But I mean, to what it is now, where you can you can put up a fucking series on IGTV.
Yeah, well, that's why we started doing the Finishers Files. That's what I'm saying. We just keep adapting.
Yeah.
But we started that podcast because of this. Now, the podcast is still, a lot of people ask me all the time, like, yo, where's the podcast? Yo, I'm bored of shit. Where's the fucking podcast? And I do it now because I monetized my YouTube. While everybody else was whacking off, I was slowly getting YouTube followers and putting up videos.
And that's not easy to do.
No,
that's a grind in itself.
Yeah, I've like 2,000 some now or something, but you
Good
have
for
to.
You.
You have to put up. I mean, I'm lucky though. Like I have the thing that I have is Grace that nobody else got. I put up Grace. She gets 100,000 views on her versus John Jock. But then I pull away from YouTube a little bit. But this is what we're talking about. We're figuring out how to get paid. Like you gotta be like you gotta be very fluid when you're out here working for yourself as an entrepreneur. That's why it's not the entrepreneur life is not for everyone, because they're not willing to work 24/7. They're not willing to, be pissed off at people. You know what I mean? Just be constantly making moves and changing things. It's hard to do. Most people, they just want to wake up. I need to be at work by 7:30. I get out by 4, and that's it. And some people, hey, that's great for you. To me, that's just I never survived. I'd do it if I have to. But I just would have never survived doing that. I like doing my own thing. And when it's up to you to go out there and make it happen, you start figuring out things. Me and JM had a bunch of, we're talking about different things that we want to get set up at the school. And we're like, we've been giving people a free pass for a long time. And I'm all about helping people. And I'm all about bringing through bringing through the next generation stuff, just like people did to me. But eventually, I got to get paid, And we are getting paid and we're doing great. But I want to get paid. I should be driving a fucking, I should be driving like a Hummer or something. No, I'm kidding. I don't even care about cars and shit like that. I just want to have enough money now because I'm having a son. I want to be able to take care of my kid. And I do have some goals. Like, I was watching, this is off subject, but I was watching this Dateline NBC thing yesterday. It was hilarious. It was on one of the Real Housewives of something or other. And her husband was this crazy, really, really expensive lawyer. I don't remember the Tom Garrity or something. I don't know. But anyways, he sued. He was one of the lawyers. If you've ever seen the show Aaron Brockovich or the movie, I don't remember anyone's name, but Aaron Brockovich, they sued PG&E because they were making people in whatever town that was, probably fucking Michigan or something. And they were making people, they were allowing, it's always Michigan. They were, or is that Detroit where the water's fucked up? Oh yeah, it is Michigan. That's what I thought. So there, but anyways, wherever PG&E is, maybe it was there, but they were they knew that the water was fucked up, and they were allowing people to drink it anyways. And then a bunch of people got sick, got cancer, and all types of shit. So, he sued them, and he made a lot of money. So this lawyer guy, he was making tons of dough, and they were showing like his, he's obviously like in his 70s or whatever, and his wife's like this super hot stacked blonde who's like, probably in her early 30s or something like that. And she's just spending money like crazy. And it was nuts. Like he was stealing money from victims and stuff like that. He would get like huge settlements and then say he was investing in money and stuff. So I feel bad for the victims, but they're idiots. How stupid are they to just, oh yeah, hey, let this guy have my money. I'd be like, no, I just won $2 million. Cut me the fucking check now, or I want it in cash or gold right now. You know what I mean? I want the money immediately. I'm not going to reinvest it. I'm broke as shit. $2 million, pay the man, especially if like the one guy got horribly burnt in a fire and stuff like that. So it's not even just random people suing for like a fucking, you know what I mean? Something fell on my head at Walmart and now I'm suing them. It's not that. It was like these people were in some real shit. Like people died and stuff like that. Like the plane went down in Indonesia or something, and the victims' families, he stole from them. So this guy should be, I think if you steal from victims and stuff like that, they should drag you in the street and like beat you with fucking a thing of doorknobs or something, like a sack full of doorknobs, something. And then, so why was I saying that story? Oh, well, at first they were like criticizing the people like, oh, well, he's a, I didn't know he was stealing from people, but I just thought this was funny that people who don't got money will be like, oh man, can't believe that fucking rich guy. What's wrong with him being rich? And that's where part of the liberals lose me on this one, because what's so wrong about having money, especially if you've earned it in, an above the board fashion? I mean, it's so like you walk like, because in school they used to, even when I was in school, they would have everybody like, we as kids would be walking around and we'd see some house where they'd be like, fuck this rich guy, we should fucking turf his lawn or whatever. And now if he stole money from victims, then yeah, let's turf his lawn, blow up his mailbox, flaming shitbag, the whole nine. But if he didn't and he just made money because he's smart and he opened up a business and took risks, why is he an asshole for having money? And why should we charge him more? I think people need to start, getting out of that broke state of mind. You're broke because you decide to be broke. If you want to get fucking paid, it's time to get paid. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm selling ammo, son. I'm selling ammo. I'm selling everything. There's nothing in that. But, yeah, so there's nothing. And what's wrong with that? Why are people, fucking, because I remember what happened was, someone was like, oh, if he's a high-priced lawyer, he shouldn't be rolling around in a jet. Why not? He's making money. He went to school. He started his own law firm. You know what I mean? It's a crime that he's making dough. Let's take more from him and give it to someone else who sits on their fucking ass all day. No, dude, that's not how it works. We should give it to fucking, how about that too? How about that Biden thing? Have you seen that? Where he just keeps whispering? Yeah.
The Yin Yang twins.
Yeah. Hey, little girl, let me whisper in your ear. I sold him the uranium. Or whatever. I don't know what he says.
So crazy.
I kind of I got way out of the politics thing, man, because I couldn't fucking take it anymore. And honestly, it really doesn't affect me because I don't follow any of the rules anyways. So why listen to it and get all pissed? I'm going to live, me and my people are like, well, you got to know what's going on in schools. Yeah, well, me and my family are going to live in the woods. And then my kid's going to go to school, homeschooled, so I'm not even worried about it. So fuck that shit. I had to get out of the politics. But yeah, so anyways, to make a long story short, me and Mike are talking about different ways to make money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, we want to make dough. What is that bad? And that's the thing. Like, people liked us, me and JM, I think. We still, obviously, we're way more known and more popular now than we've ever been before, but it's even weird to say. But back in the day, I feel like a lot of people were off on us because they liked us better when we were broke.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
They liked us better when we were sleeping on, it was fun time.
It's weird. Like, I see people that don't like my food posts because, like, they're involved with food or stuff. And I'm just like, what? Like, dude, like, I don't care that you're doing your own thing. Like, why would you care if like I'm just trying to make extra money doing fucking burgers?
Yeah.
like that helps me out so much. Like, I don't make all my money off of fucking podcasting sponsors, and the more sponsors I take, the more like I have to redo everything. But for now, it's like I'm just, you know, all right, well, let's see what works. But I love cooking, so it's like if I can make, you know, $600 selling burgers, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if I could-
why? You know how long it used to take me to make $600 working
Yeah.
fucking tree work? Rewind back to the days of, you know, what your income used to be, busting your ass, and then like, I get mad, not mad, but like I look at it where like I remember being like doing tree work and like, you know, doing fucking construction shit.
Yeah.
And
a lot of
I
people
don't-
never had to do that. They
and I-
had parents.
And I'm
you know,
sure, like,
that bailed them
when
out.
you were doing that, you were like, man, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I know,
Like,
yeah.
but then I remember having conversations in a kitchen with my coworkers being like, and like looking at like Action Bronson. And I would always be like, how did he get to do what he wants and makes money off of it? And I'm like, if he can do that and all these other people are like living their lives and not getting up and driving to a job, how do I get in that lane?
Yeah.
And then I just started thinking like, all right, well, I would have to do this and that. But it's like these people who don't want to stop their lives of the 9 to 5 and I get it. But like, and a guy came down here and was talking to me yesterday, and I talked to you about this. It's like, if you don't change your mental on being stuck in the fucking cage and box that you're designed to be built in when you grow up, and like my parents like don't run businesses. Like my mom and dad were not supportive on what I'm doing until a couple years ago. But it's like, it was me changing my mindset on being like, no, I want to fucking do this.
Yeah.
I want to podcast and make money. I want to have an apparel company. I want to travel and do shit. And if you like, don't be mad at somebody for stepping outside the box because you don't have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
You have to step outside the box. But I get, and it's not even jealousy. It's just this irritation where you look at somebody and you want to be doing what they're doing, but you don't want to take the risk. Well, I'm taking the risk. I'm sacrificing. Like, I talk to people all the time. I'm like, dude, I don't have an apartment.
Yeah,
like, I
no,
fucking
yeah.
gave up on that to do this. Now I'm getting close, but like I used to look at that as a negative thing. Now I listen to all my friends complain about their houses. They don't want to pay for it. They don't like what they got. They're stuck in a mortgage. And then now I'm about to make a fucking move where I'm going to get into a killer apartment that's going to be with the studio. And then in 5 years, I'm going to buy the fucking house I want.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell, and I'm not, you know what I mean? But like, you have to sacrifice for things that you want. And if you're not the type of person to do that, don't shit on someone because,
let people do
because
their
you're
thing.
scared of doing it. You open a jiu-jitsu school
Yeah.
and fucking grow it to where
Well, that's-
you're
yeah.
monsters on the East Coast. You fucking find a spot for a couple $100 and find a way to buy all this equipment.
Yeah, exactly. You
I didn't
buy
have
all
any.
that stuff.
Who handed you this?
Nobody. We started this. We started this business with $400 worth of bonds that JM's grandparents gave him years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Fuck it." I was like, he's like, "How much money do you have?" I'm like, "Well, I have negative." And he's like, "All right, well, I might have some bonds in storage or in like a fucking safety deposit box. Let's cash those in.
Yeah.
Start the LLC. Boom, we got it." Like I was on. I did a podcast with Brad.
Was it the bus
O'Barr.
guy?
Yeah, yeah.
That
he's-
thing was crazy.
Yeah, he's driving around an actual school bus.
Yeah,
He had it parked outside our school for 2
I
days.
saw it, saw
There-
it.
Just like where you use the electric
Yeah,
to come
yeah,
out of the
yeah,
window.
yeah, yeah.
He had that lock. People are
Fuck
like,
yeah.
"What's going on out there?" And I'm like, someone's like, "Yo, is that the finisher's bus?" I'm like, "No, it's Brad's bus. He bought a bus. He's driving around."
Does he live around here?
I think he lives in the bus.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know
Good on
exactly
him.
where
Why
he
wouldn't
was.
you?
Jersey, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, he has a whole setup in there, like a little sink and everything. And like when we got electric, he had the AC on and everything. So, we had a couple.
Not everyone does that.
No, we had
Brad
some
has
good
made sacrifices
yeah.
to do that.
Exactly. We had some good conversations about it, and he was like, "Man, I heard the story that you and JM used to live at the dojo. Can you tell me about that?" And I've told that story a million times, but he hasn't heard it, and I don't mind telling it a million times because it really pumps people up. And I have high school buddies that have believed in me all the time, like, "Yo, my boy used to live in the dojo," you know what I mean, or whatever. Look, I met my wife when I was living at the dojo. I met other girls, before that were like, "You're a weirdo" or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm a weirdo then, And now I look at myself and I'm like, wow, I can't even believe this shit happened the way it did. But it's just because of, like you said, your mindset's got to change. I follow this one guy. I should have brought the book. It's a new book called You Be You by Drew Canole. He's got a funny last name. Hey, I'll hit you over the head with a cannoli. But this dude had a horrible, like my childhood was awesome, honestly. Like I feel like I look back, I had a great childhood. I mean, yeah, bumps and stuff like that, but everybody had that stuff. So, the Drew Canoli book. So he had a horrible childhood. Like his dad like put cigarette butts out in his head and beat him up, and his sister and everything like that. So, and he came out of that, and now he's just he owns a company called Organifi. Some people have heard of it. I never did before. My wife turned me on to this guy, and I really like Drew Canoli because he just. He says a lot of things like, oh, you just want this and you want that. He's like, but what you got to understand is you already have it. Like if you're looking for money, then yeah, you might not have that yet. You got to work your way up. But if you're looking for the attitude or the mental game or the physical, it's there. You already have what you need to make something happen. It's right here. You don't need to, because that's like the excuse all the time. Oh, well, when I get this, I'll start the podcast. Or when I get that, I'll buy a bus and, I just got to do this a little bit or whatever. And yeah, you got to put things out in your future, but you can do it now is what I'm saying. You can make the move. You might not have a podcast tomorrow if you wake up because you don't have the fucking equipment, but you could work a job and be like, I'm doing the podcast, whatever. I'm doing this, whatever. We're running food pop-ups and boom, and people disagree with me on this, but the mental world creates the physical world. That's
Absolutely.
what I think. In your brain, if you can fathom it and you can think it, you can make that shit happen.
When we started doing Now We Go, if you go back to those episodes, there's conversations where I go, I think I'm just going to start selling food.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to start selling food. And then JM's like, you should do it.
Yeah.
Because I made you guys breakfast sandwiches.
That's right. Yeah.
And then and then my buddy Tim, who was at the catering event, goes, dude, do you realize like when you said you were going to be doing pop-ups and all this shit and what you're actually doing? But that transition to that where it's like, I have to turn shit down because I'm like, hey, you're getting too much food stuff. This is going to get fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that was all mental. It was just me being like, all right, there's a hustle here. All right, what can I do? All right, fuck it. I'm doing them out of the studio.
Yeah. I've tried to give so many people opportunities to make a move on something. And they just never did it. And I don't fault them for it. And maybe they're just not like me. But it's like, all right, once I'm like, hey, man, you could do this. And then they don't do it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and then the further you get in your business and like the bigger it's growing, and I'm sure you deal with this a lot, is where you need to start looking at people who have that same mindset, because if you're working with someone who isn't going to pull the trigger, you're carrying dead fucking weight up a mountain.
Yeah, well, look at Quentin. Quentin's always been working for us, but he was busy. Now he quit his job. I
can't wait to interview him.
I knew Quentin could do it. And I knew he has the eye for everything and all that, but it just took a minute to, for him to get his mental game up. And I'm always like, hey, try this book, The War of Art, or hey, like listen to this guy talk, because that shit motivates me. Some people, that shit's corny. Dude, that shit motivates the shit out of me because I just see another guy, because you might look at a guy like Drew Canoli who lives in like Arizona with some huge house on a farm and everything. Like, I'll never be able to do that. Well, now you won't because you just said it. My goal, and I've told people this before, is to keep building Finishers HQ, finish this off so where it's fucking state of the art, and we have the bags, we got the ring put up, we got a cage, we got the strength and conditioning.
Venue for the tournaments.
Yeah, everything is there now, right? We can, and we're going to take the tournament back on the road too because we had such a success going to Maryland and stuff, and we're going to buy a trailer and and there'll always be new shit to buy. But we get the cameras up and everything, and it'll be pretty much good to go. And then I'm going to spend, obviously, I'm living around here. I'm going to buy a house and let my son grow up and be able to bring him to the dojo and stuff like that. But I'm 38. I was listening to some old, WWF wrestling interviews for no reason instead of listening to politics shit. And, Hulk Hogan was talking about how he was still in the ring fucking people up at 48 years old. I mean, not fucking people up, but you know what I mean? Like fighting and taking bumps, as they call it in the industry, and getting hit at a 48-year-old man. Now, his back's screwed up, but he still looks pretty good. Hogan looks good. Stallone looks good. He's had a lot of injuries, too, from just doing stuff online, like taking hits and shit, or doing stuff on movies and stuff. And, like, for a while, I was like, man, I'm really busy now, but I'm like, man, I should try to get in movies. And I know there's a whole ton, or in TV shows. And I know there's a ton of people sitting at home listening to this. Well, I don't know if there's a ton of people listening to this, but I know there's a lot of people going, oh, yeah, Zach, oh, yeah, no, he's going to be in movies. Yeah, okay. Just wait until Steven Seagal and until some home movie comes out and Steven Seagal's put me in a fucking wrist lock, because I'll do it. You know what I mean? I will do it. Once I get this shit set up, there's no reason why locally I can't take some. I get my tattoos finished. I get a little more jacked. Start doing some headshots. I'm taller than Tom Cruise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, but that's the thing though. I'm not trying to be Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I know another guy, Tate Fletcher. No disrespect to Tate Fletcher, but he was on The Ultimate Fighter and he left early because his girlfriend was mad at him or something. So, but
girls are awesome.
yeah, I know. But why would he leave though, dude? You know what I mean?
They
But,
probably had the conversation like, look, just let me do my thing.
yeah, exactly. You got to let me do this. I need you to come home right now. Like
Yeah.
if she was pregnant or something.
He's probably
I'm
the
saying.
reason they can't communicate on The Ultimate Fighter
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, because of Tate Fletcher.
Yeah,
but
you can't talk to your family.
I have to go back and watch exactly what happened, but I think he was just, girl put pressure on him, he left. But anyways, he's not going to give a shit and get mad. Maybe he would, but I don't think he'll really care because he's rich and he owns part of Caveman Coffee, started his own coffee brand.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he also is in a whole bunch of movies.
All of them as the bad guy.
He's always the
All of
bad
them.
guy. Now, granted, Tate Fletcher is huge. He's a big ass guy.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Got a great look.
He's got a huge beard and tattoos and he's bald.
Yep. Every action movie, Fast and Furious, Expendables, like you name it. Because now he's in so many where I just go, Tate Fletcher.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I've argued with him in the 10WO chat many a time, and there he is getting beat up by Denzel Washington. Now, I mean, he was just, do you think the Ultimate Fighter got him that? Or you think it was like, he's already a black belt martial artist. He's done MMA. And then he went and knew a guy. And that's all it takes is you just got to meet a guy who knows a guy. I've gotten already, some of these may have been fake or like weird porn audition things, who knows? But I've gotten a couple people be like, hey man, do you have any headshots or anything like that? I'd like to, see if you'd want to be in like a photo shoot type thing or whatever. And I've turned a couple things down already just because I haven't had time. But eventually, I mean, dude, I don't see why. If I get myself in better, not better shape, but like if I start doing some, instead of doing just jujitsu type stuff, because I'm not competing, I'll start doing some, bodybuilding type, workouts with Bryant, as opposed to some of these other just, more flexibility and all that stuff, which I'm always going to do that too. But if I just get my arms more jacked, dude, there's no reason why I can't be like the bad guy number 8, Why can't I be that?
Why not?
Criminal number 8, where I just come in and like get shot in 2 seconds. I think it would be fun,
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Or I thought about doing getting into pro wrestling, to be honest with you, because I don't know what pro wrestling is now, but I mean old school pro wrestling, it was so much fun. And locally, I feel like it's probably just because if you go see the local show, I doubt what's going on like, Raw or something like that, What if we did like a pro wrestling charity thing,
We could definitely do that.
Like, I would love to get into pro wrestling.
What's
I
his
think that
face
would
who I
be
had
fun.
on the podcast? Chris Reject from LVAC. He does all the local wrestling stuff.
Yeah, I know Chris. He went
yeah.
to Freedom.
Yeah, he hosts. He does his own wrestling thing where he has like a venue set up.
Really?
Yeah, or like he'll like rent out a place and then like they have food and beer,
Midget
and
wrestling
tickets
and stuff, yeah.
they just have like a whole. It's awesome, and then he has bands come, and then they set it up at the Mahoning Drive-In. They did it outside, and then they showed No Holds Barred and like
What?
yeah.
Dude, I'm in on this right
Yeah.
now.
He-
I will
he
come
would,
out.
He would be cool to link you up with.
See, if we did like a match where people donated to charity and like they wanted to see me get thrown through a table or something like that, how cool would it be to come out there and have like a, me, JM, and Thor 3-way tag versus like 3 other guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe not Thor because I don't want him to get like
Hurt.
tear an ACL in
They're
a
like,
pro wrestling match.
So why can't you do this?
Thor's not an ADCC. Why? He got dude Crippler cross-faced him or something like that. He broke his. So yeah, maybe we'll keep him out, but we'll throw in some of the other guys. I mean, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'll come off the top ropes on something I think would just be cool to be a part of. you know?
Yeah, but it's just it's content. It's something
Yeah.
else to do.
If I believe I can get into it, we'll find someone and we'll get into it.
Yeah,
you know?
I need to get a hold of Chris because I need to call him back on some stuff. But I could definitely. I'm sure he's not going to care about doing something for charity.
Yeah, why not get into other stuff? Like I know a lot of our kids are into skating. Quentin got a job at a home-based skate shop. He does a lot of media for them and stuff. So I think, if we talk to Quentin, we get them going. Maybe we can have like a skate thing at the, so there's so much different things that I feel like I can get into that I want to get into. And now that I've gotten to a certain point, I feel like I can.
Yeah.
And people will be like, Zach, he'll never be in a movie. Oh, yeah? It doesn't have to happen now.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it now. I'm 38. I could be, like I said, Hulk Hogan was 48 still in the ring. That's 10 years from now for me. If I'm 48 years old, and a lot of times people don't, same thing with comedians, man. A lot of times these guys don't make it until they're already like older. And then people go, oh, well, this guy's, how old is this guy? And he's like, oh, he's 50 years old. And you're like, 50? Where did this guy come from? He's been in it the whole time.
Yeah.
But he's just gaining popularity now. It's like you just got to keep chugging at it. But a lot of people, they're not willing to do that, and that's when you see that person, you're like, okay, that's fine. You just do your job and go home. There's nothing wrong with that because you might make a lot of money doing your job and you like it. So that's cool. Punch the clock, boy. You got to get that money, big boy. But yeah, we're just trying to do it a little bit different. And man, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell we were talking about. Who knows?
A lot of the stuff you're talking about, though, with the wrestling and all that, it's like you've already built such a foundation with this business and what you're doing where now you can take projects and it's easier to build because you're like, all right, we just need these 4 things. And then you learn that growing to it. And then what's awesome is where you're at a position now where you can turn this all into content. So it's like, all right, well, we can do charity, but now this is for my social media, it's for my YouTube. Yeah. And then it goes out to all these different things that's monetizing, and then it's just growing it. And but you have to start from the bottom, though. You can't just be like, I'm going to do all this stuff. And then people get frustrated, and then they want help, and then they look at you, and then it's like, why didn't I have a foundation to what I'm doing?
Yeah, the Heart Foundation, baby.
Yeah.
Damn, that's 45 minutes already?
You're at 40.
Oh, she's nice. What was I gonna say? That and what I was saying is like if you really believe it, you can do it. I really want to get. I'm gonna get a house around here and just be around here for a while, and then eventually I want to get a place in Vermont, and I like to have a place down in Cocoa Beach, Florida. So I can just kind of travel back and forth.
Who was from Cocoa Beach? The wrestling,
wasn't it? Where was
Cocoa Beach?
Where was Hulk Hogan from?
Maybe that. I don't remember.
Well, the reason why I say that is because me and Sid went there. Remember, we went to Hulk Hogan's beach shop.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He owns a gym, a wrestling where they sell memorabilia and stuff. Hogan's Beach Shop, and then he also has a restaurant. Because my wife was like, "Oh, I went to Hogan's restaurant before when I was down there." I was like, oh, really? I don't think that's actually in Cocoa Beach. I think that's actually in Clearwater.
What kind of food do they serve at Hogan's restaurant?
I don't know. It's probably, fish tacos, shit like that, you know? But yeah, that's, so my boy, shout out to my boy Frank Dukes. Obviously not his real name, but he owns a place in Cocoa Beach, Florida called Off the Grid BJJ. And what a fucking cool name, too. Because it's like the palm trees and shit is his logo. And I've taught 2 seminars down at Cocoa Beach now, which is awesome. And the one time I taught a seminar down there and there was like a whole bunch of black belts there and shit, because everybody at Cocoa Beach, if you're on vacation, that's the place to train. I mean, I'm sure there might be other places down there, but that's the place to train. Train at Frank Duke's school, Off the Grid. Check him out on Instagram. But I taught a seminar down there with JM one time. He flew us both down there. We had a great time. I also taught one but when I was just there traveling and, relaxing with my wife, and we went to, I went there, and I got to roll with Bill the Grill Cooper was there. That was an intense role. And then I got to roll with Spencer was there, and there were a whole bunch of guys. I don't know if I rolled with Spencer at the time, I forget, but it was just really cool. And I want to go back down there, and I'd love to have, a condo. Have you ever been to Cocoa Beach?
No.
Dude, Cocoa Beach, you can't fly into Cocoa Beach, I don't think. You could fly into whatever, Clearwater or Sarasota, something like that, and then you got to drive in. And, man, that's where I would have a place, because it's right in the beach area. People don't give a fuck about masks and all that shit. You know what I mean? They're like, dude, what? Like, you're telling people, like, dude, it's 1,000 degrees down here. We're not wearing masks. You know what I mean? And you could get I don't know how expensive places are, but I mean, I'm not even worried about that. I'll figure that out. I don't need a big place. I just need a condo. Frank knows everybody down there. You tell me he ain't going to find me a place like, yo, where am I going to live? I could just I'll just get an apartment that allows Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I'll do that. You know how many people like of ours will want to go down there and hang out and do like summer. We're not at that point yet. We're still grinding. you know, but like eventually, like we could do it now. We could all go down there and just rent a big house and have like a weekend or something. But just with the baby and everything, I'm not prepared for all that stuff yet. But when we do, I think it's going to be awesome. I think we'll, you know, if I have a place there, like I'll just tell, like when I'm like kind of retired from coaching 100% here at the school, which I will be one day. People are like, yo, you ever going to retire from coaching altogether? I'm like, yeah, but you know, there's some people at the school right now that have been training with me for a long time that I put a lot of time into helping. And I kind of want to see it through, you know, I kind of want to see them through their career and just see where it goes, you know, like Grace. You know, Grace, obviously, I think she's the best of all time. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. But, you know, I'm not going to abandon Grace. Like, I'm not going to retire. I'm only 30 years old, but, you know, Grace has a lot of, opportunities left coming. And, you know, she's still young. I don't think she's going to compete for forever, but, you know, I'm going to see her all the way through. Like, I'm going to see her till her career is over, you know? Same with John Blank. We call him Thor. I call him Jonathan Blankenship. I call him El Blanquino. I got all these names I just call guys, but John, you know, he's running his own school. It's like, can you believe 10 Planet Allentown's at capacity?
Yeah, I can.
It's done. People are hitting up Andrew like, yo, man, I want to sign up, but I can't sign up at Allentown. I'm like, why not? You're like, it's too packed, and they're trying to move, and it might take till the end of the year, whatever, move to a bigger location over there, which is fucking awesome. John's killing it. Yeah, he's killing it, dude. Allentown, it's only been open, I mean, think about it, 2-3 years, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
And half of it was fucking coronavirus bullshit, you know? So it's really awesome, though. So what I was saying with John is I want to see his career through. Like, he's got ADCC coming up, so, you know, I don't know how long he wants to compete, but, you know, he's got that Polaris team, you know, Polaris squads thing coming up. But I think, you know, as for John, like, I mean, he'll probably have, because ADCC's every 2 years, he'll probably have a good 2-3 runs at ADCC, like, you know, and then maybe he'll want to keep going after that, or maybe he'll just want to fucking retire. Who knows? And just run the school, make dough, hang out. So, you know, that's cool too. But I feel like, you know, Grace and Thor, like, I've had them, you know, since, you know, not Grace since the beginning of her training, but I've had John since he started training. Just walked in our school, took my, you know, he was first class. I was teaching like omoplatas, or maybe it was JM teaching, I don't remember, but one of us was teaching class, and he just walked in with his buddies, Andrew and Kevin Jones, and Andrew's our manager right now. And, you know, guys have been around forever, so I want to see his career through. And now I got, you know, a bunch of young kids, you know, that are really good. Bam Bam, you know, I'm not really Bam Bam's head coach, his dad is, you know, but I'm definitely like assistant coach to the head coach of Matty Bam Bam, and I love that kid, man. He's such a beast. And I just try to help him, you know, any way I can, you know, and promote him and try to get him more opportunities, because he's such a good kid, and he's so good. Like, he could be like, eventually, you know, who knows, Matt might end up, if he really wants to take this next level, he might end up moving somewhere or something like that, you know. But the cool thing is with HQ, he's wrestling at Red Hawk right behind us. Yeah. He's going to come over, work out with Brian. I heard Brian said Matt's going to probably work out with him. And he's over at our school. He's training at his school every day. You know, he's you know, I love that kid. You know, and I want to help him as much as I can. Dude, if I can be a part of his run, that'd be sick. Because, you know, he's going, dude, Matt's going to be in all types of stuff. Like, he lost one match, which I think was BS, at Jits King. And then he went back down there. He wanted to they were like, yeah, we'll get you another guy. He's like, nah, rematch. And they're like, well, you know, that guy might not want to do it, whatever the situation is, I forget. And he's like, nah, rematch. I want that guy again. That was BS. Matt's like a kid. And then the parents paid all the money, took him down there. Main event at a kid's event. Main event, 30 matches. He's the main event. And he won in golden score again. He was on top the whole time looking for darces and stuff, which kids don't even really go for. Like total advanced move. And he won he won golden score. The kid tried to take him down, and he stayed up on top. And, you know, weird points rules, but, I mean, Matt will run it anyway. He'll do sub-only, points, gi, you know what I mean, skateboarding. Whatever you want to do, he'll do you on it. And he kind of one of the reasons why I like Matt too is he, you know, Grace and John are their own, you know, their own people, obviously, but Matt's still a kid, but he reminds me a lot of myself, you know, not that I was that good at anything when I was that age, you know, but he just has nonstop energy. Like, he would go to school, go to wrestling practice, come train with us for 2 hours private, and then go home, and I'll see a picture uploaded later of him riding a bike. You know what I mean? Or doing skateboarding or something. So
He doesn't stop.
He don't stop. Even when I'm like, if I'm having a conversation with his parents, he's finding a heavy bag to punch or kick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I like what he does as well as what I said earlier is he's just turning it all into content.
Yeah.
Like everything he's doing, could you imagine at that age, he's already doing what we just talked about?
He knows that's why he's the man. So I want to see his career through too. And then we got my right-hand man, Sid the Kid. And Sid Tavalaro, and the thing with Sid is like he's so smart already, and he's already just like how my sensei and guys took me under their wing back in the day. I'm trying to do the same for him. He's such a beast, dude. He teaches all of our little kid classes, like he teaches the young kids. Gave him a job doing that, so he's working at the school every day of the week. Helps me out with the advanced class, and on top of that, like a lot of times you find a kid who's like a really good instructor, but he can't compete. Sid can do it all. Like his competitions, I mean, he's crushing people. I mean, I gave him his blue belt when you're technically not allowed to be a blue belt till you're 16. Gave him to him at 15, and he's just crushing dudes. Like he heel hooked some guy 30 seconds. Like he's gonna find some tough matches, but I mean, he's just getting started. He's really just getting started. He's doing like adult, he's been doing adult, matches forever. I mean, he raised like $3,000 for cancer.
I saw that.
Tap cancer out, and then he just, heel hooked the guy in 30 seconds. I'm like, damn, people even get their money worth, dude. You got to finishing dudes off. He's not, and again, he's another guy, like his style is very close to, mine and JM, so, and, he reminds me a lot of myself. Like he goes for this one armbar that I've been going for years. Everyone's like, oh, that's Amanda Levy's armbar. Yeah, Amanda Levy's got it pretty good, but she might be doing it better than me now. But, bro, like I got videos of when I'm fucking 6. I'm 38. When I was 16 doing that same armbar. Because it's right there. Someone collar ties you, swing on that arm. This time the guy put his arm on, Sid pulled guard and the guy tried to go for like a pass. And then he immediately attacked an armbar. The guy pulled out and then he went right on the legs. And then just put the guy in the heel hook, had no idea, guy tapped. And he's like, yeah, and then how about the match at the finishers was insane.
That was insane.
People were like, bro, a lot of the newer guys are like, I've never felt that kind of energy for anything
it was crazy.
before.
We were outside and you could feel energy.
Yeah. Well, they were saying I've never felt anything like that, like ever. Like, being at a thing where like someone does like a jump on a bike and you're like, yeah, but you don't really know the guy. Or you're like at a pro wrestling thing and you're like, whoa, cool. Like I saw whatever. Or you're at a baseball game. Like that's probably the closest you could get where you're at like a Eagles game and they score a touchdown and everyone's an Eagles fan. That's pretty cool. But you don't know the guys. So who cares? When you're in jiu-jitsu and you're training with the guy every day of the week and then he goes out there and then there's 100 people stacked in the room. And because they're not far away. It's like I always said, it's like 8 Mile or
it's
whatever.
Very intimate.
You're stuffed in there and then, boom, guess what? The energy level is going to be up. It's hot in there, and then dudes are competing. When someone hits a sick move, everyone's like, oh. Now, when someone gets a finish, and then they get to, like, stand up, that's why ADCC was so cool. When Thor hit that heel hook on Rustum, the place went insane because everyone there, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows who John Thor Blank is. If you're at ADCC, you know who John Thor Blank is. And everyone there is watching like, oh, shit. And if you're there, if you don't know John for some reason, you definitely know Rustum Chiziev. So you're like, you see when guys come out, people just lean in, like, what's going to happen with this one? And then John taps him and stands up, and he's like, ah! And I'm like, yeah! And I look back, and there's like, I don't know how many people are at ADCC, but the whole crowd is going nuts. So, like, then people realize, like, oh, damn, like, if I hit a big sub here, you can stand up and be like, ah, and everyone's going to be like, ah.
Yeah,
you know what
crazy.
I mean? Like Gary Tonin hit that flying scissor leg heel hook and people went insane. There were people just like, whoa, falling out and shit. You know what I mean? I'm sitting on the I wanted to say courtside, but I'm sitting on the side with Eddie Bravo. Like we're smoking weed outside. Like people were hanging out. Craig Jones is like, oh, I smelled you from around the corner, mate. Like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden I'm back in there, ringside. It's like just like the Who's Number One thing coming up in September, and then the following September, like I know I'll be there because I'm coaching Thor or whatever, and he's in ADCC. And then I'm in at the Who's Number One with Thor's in that again and Grace. And the fact that I get to beat, not only do I get to be there, but like Grace is one of the favorites to win that shit. And then there I am on the sidelines coaching. If someone would have said that years ago, I don't know if I would have believed it, because I used to watch ADCC in my buddy's Big Steve's basement when I was broke as fuck, just watching old ADCC matches, be like, wow, that'd be cool to, be there one day, and then not everything works out. Like, I wanted to be in ADCC, but, the cards weren't set up for that. But guess what? I still am at ADCC. I get to be at these things, watching these guys that I spend time with, every week and months and years of training. It's epic, dude. Like, to be a part of that is so cool. I'm not taking for granted, man. I'm watching videos. I'm fucking studying shit, and like I said, I just can't wait to feel that energy all weekend. Like, who's number one? I'm going to have to be in Austin for like 4 or 5 days. I'm doing business deals. I'm going out to steak dinners with dudes. Like, dude, I love this shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad to be a part of it, man. And I'm not taking it for granted. Every morning I wake up now. I used to take mushrooms. Sometimes I do, but these gummy mushrooms, and then the other ones are like, I got a chocolate bar. I forgot to take it this morning, but I don't take a lot. Like, I'm not trying to trip out of my gourd like I used to. Like, it says like you take this amount, and it's like you feel pretty good. You take this amount, and you're like, okay, you're in the mix. You're right in the O's, in that fucking K zone or whatever it is, where you're like, yeah, you take this much. They call it God mode. It says the walls may melt. I'm like, I don't need that right now in my life. Like, if I was having some problems, maybe I would zone in or whatever. But right now I just take a little bit, and that's what I would do in the morning, and then just sometimes just lay in bed before that and just say how thankful I am for everything. And then I also say how hard I'm going to work when I get up and start doing it, because not just for me, it's for my family and stuff too. So like I said, I'm not taking any of this shit for granted. Let me drop a couple dates real quick. July 25th is the next Finisher Sub Only. Finishers open 6. Couple divisions. You can register on Smooth Comp. Go to the Finisher Sub Only Instagram. You can just click the link in the bio. Some people still haven't fucking figured that out. And then you can register on Smooth Comp. We got a lot of registrations already. I got to check to see how many people signed up. But it's going to be an all-day event, probably on a Sunday. We're having the 145 qualifier, which should be pretty crazy, for Emerald City Invitational, which is going down in August. You can get tickets if you go to Emerald City Invitational. Check them out on Instagram. Shout out to Sam McCall. EBI rules. We have a qualifier, so if you win the qualifier, which Sid's going to be in, and there's a bunch of guys. Tim McNamara's in it. Chris Crawford's in it. I think Josh Richards is in it from 10 Planet NYC. Dude, I got to look. Brant Bosseron's in it. Dude, it's going to be stacked 145 qualifier. And then the winner of that gets to go against, could go against Kennedy Maciel, Frank Rosenthal, who's headlined our event, John Batto just won the super fight at the last one. Who else is in it? There's a ton of 45ers, and it's like all the top. Forgive me, I don't know a lot of the. I don't know if I know a lot of the Brazilian guys, but let's just pull it up while we got a minute here. Emerald. And the Emerald City Invitational, the Finisher Sub Only is going down at Finishers HQ. It's $20 to get in if you want to come watch. The Emerald City Invitational is 145 pounds, August 7th at the Showboat in Atlantic City. I might have to stop by and slap Trump if he's over at his, or did that go out of business? Who knows? And the crazy thing about, if you win the qualifier, you get $1,000, and then the actual Emerald City Invitational is $10K. It's $10,000 if you're paying attention out there. So let's check out their Instagrammy here. We got Kennedy Maciel, you know him. He's one of the best in the world, if not ranked number 1 in the world at 55, I think. Cutting to 45, that's Cobrinha's son. Frankie Rosenthal, you know that guy. John Battle. Estevan Martinez. I don't know him, but he's wearing the gi, so he's probably pretty good. Diego Oliveira. These guys are like IBJJF dudes. Daniel Sattler from Atos. They're ranked dudes, but I just don't know them. Gabriel Sousa, I know him. That dude's a beast. Let's see. Damian Anderson, obviously you guys know him. Donaher Death Squad. Luis Quiones from 10th Planet. HQ, shout out to Luis. Richard Alacarn, that guy's combat jiu-jitsu champion. He's a beast. John fucking Calistine. Glad to see him back in there. Former Finishers champ. So, and more guys, and more. If I forgot you, sorry, but that's going to be fucking sick. That's on Flow Grappling. Like I said, qualifier for that. Check that shit out. Shout out to the Finisher Sub Only sponsors is the Veterans Bushido Brotherhood. Check those guys out. They're doing a whole, let me look up their info too. while we're at it. Cherryville Photography is sponsoring us. Who else? Cruise Combat, Relentless Worldwide. But let me look up the veterans. You haven't talked to these guys, have you? A nonprofit veteran-owned organization to support veterans. We're dedicated to improving the quality of life for veterans through fitness. Veteran _ Bushido _ Brotherhood. They're doing an event, which is they're giving away guns and stuff. I didn't even know you could do that, but that sounds pretty cool. The Barbershop, 4th Annual Barbershop Throwdown, September 19th. So we got a long time. List goes down. Jiu-Jitsu tournament, craft beer, DJ. It's at the Barbershop. What else is going on? Looks like they're doing a raffle for like a whole bunch of guns, some bows, $500 cash prizes. A lot of the money goes to veterans. So anything that I can do to help veterans and help people that like actually, did something for this country, and like a lot of these people lost their lives, families, time from their families, and all types of stuff. And anything I could do to help them, that's awesome. Oh shit, Steve Kozlow is going to be in. Dude, the 145 qualifier is going to be stacked to the gills. That's going to be sick. I'm sure you're going to be doing burgers out there. It might be fucking hot, dude. You might have to get like some fans or some shit.
Well, I was thinking about a better way to do it, and I'll talk to you more about it, where I think with that warmer over there, I can just have that warmer filled and then have somebody sell them out of the bus.
Oh, okay.
And then I could just keep filling that box
Yeah, that's cool.
up.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought maybe even a dumb waiter out the window.
Yeah, there you go. Because you want to be able to come in and out or whatever it is, you know what I mean? We'll have it figured out. I actually might not be at that one, or I might just show up mad late. So, because there's babies coming. What else? Let me just quick. If you guys, I'll go over the sponsors. We also got a shout out to Fuji Mat Company. Shout out to Patrick at Fuji. If everyone's looking for mats, holla at your boy, because they just sent us I already had 2 people hit me up that are probably buying them too, but they sent me but we bought a floor mat ring. I don't know if you saw that. It's basically someone's like, yo, it looks like DX colors. I'm like, sweet, because everybody who doesn't have a ring can suck it. Just kidding, but yeah, the ring, JM's dad put the posts in and everything. We still got to cut the mats and trim them and everything, but the ring looks sick, dude. The amount of attention it's bringing already is awesome. Can't wait to get the guys in there to be able to use it. So shout out to Fuji Matco. We're going to be getting a cage soon and stuff like that too, so that's awesome. And none of this would be possible without the sponsors of this show. And the sponsors of this show are not just sponsors of the show. I work with, the reason why these guys are the sponsor of the show, because they don't pay that much to be sponsors here. The thing is, they work with me in other different ways too. Like Ted from Armbar Club, he sponsors the show. And check out armbarclub.com. And the cool thing with them is, dude, like he makes designs for us that are freaking epic. I don't know how the hell he does it. He's such a beast. He's always doing rash guards and t-shirts and all types of stuff for us. Sometimes he'll just make logos like that Finishers Gun Club one and be like, hey, do you want this? Like he made the Bret Hart rash guards. So if you're looking for any of Ted's work, or some of the other stuff we sell, check out shopfinishers.com. The website's doing great. Rubber Guard Assassins, the Rubber Guard Assassins, like they're always putting up a lot of my stuff. If I have a seminar, and he's got thousands of followers. So the fact that I have him as a sponsor, like, is really dope. Like he gives us a little bit of bucks, right, to just keep the podcast going and everything. And I mean, you know how many, dude, they've gotten me so many followers. Like a lot of the followers I have, not a lot of them, but a bunch of them have definitely came from them, because they'll post something up of mine and tag me in it, and all of a sudden I'll get another 150, 200 people liking my shit, and that's huge, because that all turns into money. So, Sabrachi, shout out to Sabrachi Jewelry, I was rocking, I don't know if you, one day, the last summit, did you see the last tournament? I showed up, I had the pug, I had like a collared shirt on, people didn't even recognize, I was trying to be incognito, and my wife keeps telling me my chest hair is getting ridiculous, so I'm really trying to like fluff it out more. Yeah. And I was wearing some collared shirts with those, and I had the Finishers chain on, so that was really cool. Did I miss anybody? I got Armbar
was
Club.
Ted Park, Armbar Club,
Rubber Guard,
Sabrachi,
Sabrachi.
Nazo Ammo.
Oh yeah, and some people still haven't figured this out on Instagram. If you go on to you're only allowed to put up one link. So I have a link tree. If you click on the link in my bio on Instagram, and please, if you're going to buy stuff through us, I really appreciate it, but please do it the right way too. Go on, click on that link. If you need the link, I will text it to you. Let me know. But click on the link that's in my bio, buy the ammo through that. And, people are like, oh, I can't find 9mm. We got 9mm.
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe.
Exactly.
I talked to Jeremy yesterday. 9mm is on lock. We're going to have plenty of that.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting 5.56, 30-30, and I think one other one. So we're going to now be able to have multiple amounts of ammo.
We got army guns.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like when you like go through Zach, especially if you're from the school and you're looking for the ammo, because if you don't go through his link, like this whole thing's set up where if you go through Zach's link, we're notified, he's credited, and Zach gets paid. So it's
if
like
you don't want me
anything
to get
else.
paid, then just buy shit without using my link. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and you we can fight about it later
And
on.
all folks in New Jersey, because a guy came up to me at Pop-Up Sunday. Now, if you come to the school and you're in New Jersey, and a lot of people are having trouble with buying ammo where they have there's a limit on what they can buy.
Right.
If you want to, you can buy everything we have at once. I don't care. There's no limit purchasing.
there's nobody cares.
So if you're in New Jersey and the gun shops are making you buy a handgun in order to get a box of ammo, we are not doing that at all. So
well, that's how they make it in Pennsylvania at the gun stops too. Yeah.
So the
Gun
guy in
stores,
Jersey
I mean.
was we can't ship to Jersey. We can ship anywhere in PA, and you can but anyone can pick up at the school. Pick up. So if you're going through Zach and you want to pick up at the school, I'm going to be at the school once a week doing the podcast at his thing. We can easily bring the ammo there. So if you're out of state or you don't want to spend shipping, there is a promo code that it's I think it's Nazo Local or Pick Up Nazo. It's on the website.
Well, either
then
way,
they can pick up at the school.
Exactly.
So it's like you can get ammo if you're in New Jersey and you come to the school, or you want to make a drive for 20 minutes, come to the studio. You can pick
get
it up.
out of Jersey for a minute. Jeez,
Seriously,
dude.
you guys got
smells
like
over
hot dogs and The Sopranos. That's
there.
about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Bada bing.
Yeah, it's pork roll, by the way.
Yeah. So, also too, there's, dude, I'm trying to set up stick mobility is another thing me and Bryant use all the time. JM, all the guys. If you go on Stick Mobility, use the promo code ZAC10, you can get stuff. Also too, what's the other one? Plug. Oh, I just started working with Training Mask. The Training Mask. So, if you're not too familiar with the Training Mask on, I have no idea whether it protects against, the coronavirus or the Rona, but what it is for a lot of athletes use them. You don't want to use it in the heat, but you ever seen those masks?
Yeah.
You look like Bane, kind of.
Yep. I think it's what the guys of the UFC wear out.
Yeah. A lot of the guys in UFC, it's a similar one. I don't know if it's the Training Mask, but Training Mask's been around for a long time. Just started working with them. So the promo code, if you go to the Training Mask, just search Training Mask. There's a whole bunch of different kinds. If you go on there, promo code Finishers, or if you buy it through my link on my link tree, you can go on there and get it. So that I got to, always support the BJJ Fanatics DVDs. I have another one coming out, and we're already working on another one. So next one, leg locks to passing leg locks. That's what I'm saying. I can't stop, won't stop. I'm not going to stop.
Why would you?
I'm just going to keep grinding, and just keep doing it, and see where it takes me, man. I like I said, I love this shit. I really appreciate everybody. And, we're just going to keep it fucking popping, dude. I can't wait to see what me and you come up with, Dude, watch 5 years from now, we'll both be dressed up like, you'll be dressed up like
Cocoa
Hacksaw
Beach.
Jim Duggan, or I'll be,
Cocoa Beach,
and I'll be,
baby.
we'll be down in Cocoa Beach doing a pro wrestling fucking event where I'm dressed up like the Macho Man punching people out in the crowd. I don't care, dude. It's fun, man. And, I want you to join in on the fun too. So, get your shit together and let's keep it popping. Shout out to Never Again Studio, Mike here for letting me rock this. And, a lot of good things coming down the pike. So just keep grinding and just believe that, it will happen for you. But the thing that everyone's always missing is you got to do the hard work, man. It's not just going to come to you for free. You got to get out there and you got to swing on it and see what happens. So shout out to everybody at Finishers HQ. But glad we got another one in. I got to go check my dad's pool, stop at the dispensary. I got a busy day today, and then I'm teaching tonight. This won't come out for a little bit.
Water line's full.
Yeah, exactly. Water line's full. Basket is cleaned out. I can have one popsicle from the freezer. And also, what else? Tonight should be a good night. Randy Miley, who is she's one of the other teens that started coming up with Grace when the finishers were putting on the teen matches. She has aspirations doing combat jiu-jitsu, fighting MMA, but she trains at 10 Planet Newton. That's one of our affiliates, and we're going to give her a brown belt tonight, so that's pretty cool. So that'll be a good pop. Also to actually, I think that's all I got. So, Mike, thank you again, and let's keep it popping. And in the words of Vince McMahon, kiss my ass. Nah, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Peace.